Hi friends, thank you all so much for stopping by today, and welcome if you're new here. My name is Alyssa, and today I'm going to show you how I created this journal, and I did do a flip through on it, so I'll link that down below if you missed it, but many of you had asked for a tutorial, so I'm here today with a different paper pad. So I'm going to use my Mariposa stack here to create a similar journal since I used up all of the Tim Holtz paper for that journal. So let's jump right into it. To start off, you will just need 2 sheets of paper that are 12 inches wide by 9 inches tall. And these are going to be our front covers and our back covers, and I'm simply just going to fold these in half on the 12-inch side, or you can score it right down the middle at 6. So this paper is going to be my front cover. As you can see, I'm just folding it in half. And then I realized, oh, maybe I should have scored it because I got some cracking on my paper, but that's okay. So that one's folded in half, and then do the same thing with your second 12 by 9. Just fold that in half at the 12-inch side. And you'll see that we have our 2 open parts in the middle. So this is going to be my front cover. And then it's just going to flip like so. So you want the open parts of those pages to be in the middle, facing each other, because that is where we're going to attach our spine. So our spine is 3 inches wide by 9 inches tall. And that's just the extra piece from that red paper over there. So I'm going to open up both of my pages or covers here, and the spine piece is just going to get glued right in the middle. So I'm going to grab my glue and I'm just going to pop some glue right on the edge over here. And I'm probably only going to glue about 1/2 inch of the spine on each of the edges. So I will glue the edge over here as well. And then I'll place the spine piece down. So again, I'm just doing about like 1/2 inch of that paper. And then same thing for the other side. I just place down about 1/2 inch of the spine portion onto that side. And then I'm just flipping these pages back, kind of adjusting everything and making sure it's straight. So those are going to be just little flip out pages, those big flaps there. And then this is what it's going to look like from the outside. So I have just that blank space showing there, and I am going to cover that up, just not quite yet. So back to the inside now, but I'm just going to fold this in half. And for the spine piece, I'm not folding it completely. I'm kind of just bending it or gently pressing down on it because I still want it to have some curvature. So that's what that ends up looking like. And it doesn't have to be perfect, but I just want there to be a bendy spine, a curved spine, so that all my pages can fit inside. So I'm just smoothing out the covers there. And now I'm flipping it back to the outside because I'm going to be making 2 marks. This is where I'm going to kind of just put some elastic for my signature. And it really just depends on how tall you want your pages to be. I made mine about 8.5 inches tall, so I'm making marks here at 0 and 8.5 with my ruler, just trying to center that in the middle of the spine there. And I'm just going to be using my awl tool to poke my holes there. And I'll kind of fold my journal in half again, and I just went over my marks there just to make sure they were right down the middle. And now I'll go ahead and poke my holes here. So I'm just doing 2 holes, one at the top and one at the bottom. And I'm just going to grab an elastic to bind my signature in. So here I am. I'm going to start at the bottom here. Just send that through to the inside, and then I will put the rest through the top hole. And I'm just trying to make it a little bit bigger so that my elastic will go through. And we'll just pull that through. Just cut the excess off there. Then I'm going to flip it back to the outside, and I'm actually going to tie this on the outside rather than the inside. And then I'll just cut off any excess. And now I'm going to go ahead and cover up the outside spine. So you can use paper or fabric or whatever you'd like. I'm just using this ribbon from Temu. And it was pretty much a perfect fit, so that worked out. So I'm just going to glue my spine and attach this. And I glue it right over the elastic as well. So I'm just gluing that down in sections, smoothing out my glue, and then cutting off the excess. So I'm gonna fold this in half again, and that's what it'll look like all around. And I'll just let that dry a little bit more and flip it back to work on the inside. So we're going to work on this first little flip out portion, and I'm going to create a pocket here and just a small signature as well, just like in my first one. So you can see there's a side pocket there, and then just a few extra journaling pages. So that's what we're going to create here. Now for this part, it's really up to you. You can pick whatever size you want. You can even score your paper however you want, but I used a 12-inch wide by 8.5-inch tall piece of paper, and I scored my blank side here at 2 1/4 right there, and then 8 1/4 right here. You could do 3 and 9 if you want to, make it easier. But again, it's really up to you. Or you can just eyeball it. So this is going to be my side pocket, as well as a page in this smaller signature. So I'm just folding the flaps over like so, kind of just in opposite directions. And this smaller flap here is going to be the pocket. So it's going to go right onto the side of this panel here. And this page will flip. And that extra flap you could make into a pocket or just have it be a flip out page as well. But before I go ahead and glue that down or glue any of my pages down, since this is single-sided paper, I am just grabbing some other paper to cover up the blank sides here. I didn't have to do that with my first one because the Tim Holtz paper was double-sided, but you can choose to cover up any blank spaces if you'd like. So I'm just grabbing some of these scrap pads from Temu as well. I've had them in my stash forever, and I'm sort of just going to collage over the blank sides here. And I'll just speed up this process to make it go by a little bit faster. But you can see I'm just kind of tearing pieces apart, gluing things down. And it's an easy way to just cover up some of that blank space. So now we can go ahead and work on our mini little signature over here. So I'm just grabbing a few extra papers to attach to that green sheet there. And you can really use whatever size papers you have. Mine are all at least 8.5 inches tall or shorter, and they all have 1/2 inch tabs on the left here, and they're all folded forward, as you can see. And for the width, I want them to be about 6 inches or less. So now what I'm going to do is just glue my tabs, and they're going to get attached to the back of this sheet here where the pocket is. So pretty much just attach it to like the inside of the pocket there. And I'll fold this over and make sure it's in a good position. So everything just gets anchored behind the pocket, as you can see there. So that when we glue that pocket on, we'll have our flippy pages for our signature there. And I'm going to do just the same exact thing now to all of the other pages. So you can see this one here is a lot wider than 6 inches. But what I'm going to do is just glue down my tab, same process, and attach it to the back of that page. And then I will flip it back here and just fold the excess in. And I'm just going to fold the whole thing in half pretty much. So I could have a flip out page here, or I could just glue the whole thing down to make it double-sided. And you can see that's a perfect fit there. And I'm just going in with another sheet and doing the exact same thing. So you can really add as many sheets as you would like, but I think I only added 4 just so it wouldn't be too bulky over on this side. And here's my last sheet. This is just some coffee dyed paper, and it is a bit wider as well, but I'm again gonna just fold in the excess. So that's all I'm going to add to this extra little signature. And now I'm going to go ahead and glue the pocket down to that outer panel. So I'm going to glue just 3 edges here, and I'm going to go right over the tabs there. And then I'll just place my pocket right over that blank space. And just make sure everything is in a good position. You can even close up this flip out page and kind of just push the signature in and adjust it. So when you flip that open, you'll have that side pocket there, and then just a few extra pages that you can journal on or add photos to and decorate. And then we have that other blank panel as well that I'm going to cover up, but you can do whatever you want on that panel as well. You could add more pockets, photos, anything you'd like. So just quickly speeding up this process again, but I really like how the collaged effect looked in this journal. So there's my background there. And this side is all set for now. Now we're going to move on to this side, and I'm pretty much going to do the exact same thing. So I decided to cover up all of the blank spaces here first, and then I'll go ahead and add an extra little signature. Same thing as the front. Now I'm going to create another pocket flip page. So it's the exact same size, 12 inches wide by 8.5 inches tall, but this time I scored it on the pattern side. So I did 2 1/4 here, and then 8 1/4 over here. And again, the smaller panel is going to be the pocket. So I'm actually going to flip the bigger panel back again. And there's my little pocket, and it's going to get glued over that blank spot on this panel. And we can attach pages to this the same exact way we did in the front. So basically, we're going to flip it this way, and then everything's going to get anchored onto the left side here, again, underneath that pocket. So I have picked out a few more papers, and they all have a 1/2 inch tab on the left again, but this time the tab is going backwards, or you're going to fold it to the back. So you can see I did that on all of my pages. So I'm going to start with the very last page there, and I'm going to glue the tab, same exact way, just to the back of that sheet that says butterflies and moths. And we'll just keep attaching all of our pages that way. Here's my next sheet. You can see it's a bit wider again. So I'm going to just glue the tab down first. Then I'll flip it back this way, and I'm just going to fold the excess in, or in this case, I'm just going to fold it in half. And same thing with my next page. Just keep on attaching them the same way. And you can position it wherever you want it to go. So you can see I'm kind of just layering up my pages here. So you can do something like that as well. And then my last piece here I turned into a pocket. So I gave myself a little tab on the inside, and I'm going to glue that as well as the bottom. Close that up. You can see I still have the 1/2 inch tab there to anchor it to my other pages, but that'll be a cute little pocket page in the front. So our next signature here is complete. And now we can go ahead and glue that pocket down, same way that we did it in the front. So just glue your 3 edges, and then you can attach it to that panel on the end, right over that blank space. And same thing here, you can fold that flip out flap over and just press it down to get that pocket adhered nicely. And just make sure everything is aligned how you like it. So here I am going through the pages again. And then we'll have that side pocket. And that flip out section is all set. So we have these 2 fun interactive flip out pages and mini signatures. And then we can't forget the main one in the very middle. That's just what it looks like from the outside, I guess I'm showing you, but now you can go ahead and just put some pages under the elastic. So I went ahead and just picked some pages for my signature there. And most of these pages were around 12 inches wide by 8.5 inches tall. And I just folded them in half. So they're actually 6 inches wide now, and they fit perfectly inside of the journal. But I'll just quickly flip through this signature. I did a mixture of just plain papers, patterned papers from the paper pad, coffee dyed paper, and I love the elastic binding because you can move things around or add as many more pages as you'd like. So that is everything. That is basically how I assembled my Tim Holtz journal. So I hope that you guys enjoyed seeing my process in making this one. You can see that it gets really full, so the curved spine is very helpful. But as always, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, subscribe to my channel for more crafty fun and inspiration, and leave me a comment down below. I will see you all in my next video, so happy crafting and huge hugs!